G'day champions. If you've ever wondered what's inside a 4-stroke outboard, this is going to be a great video as I need to pull the head off this. I think all the water galleries are full of salt. So I'm going to be pulling this little 4 horsepower 4-stroke apart. And we can have a look together as to, the bits and pieces and the way it works. Let's get into it. So I think I've got all the bolts out that hold the power head to the leg. So this should all be free now. Wow, it actually looks pretty clean down in the leg. So now that power head is actually off the leg, I'm going to be taking the head off, which is that section there. The piston itself runs down in here, and this part from here up is the head, and we have the rocker cover here. So we'll have some bits and pieces in there that are going to be actuating the valves. Here we have the carburetor and basically the area that the fuel air mixture gets sucked into the head. So the head will allow the valves to open, suck this in on the downward stroke, and it will allow that fuel air mixture into the cylinder, top the cylinder area. So it'll be interesting to have a look at the inlet ports, and then likewise, once the combustion is done, there'll be some valves in here that allow the exhaust to get out and exit down through here and down through the leg. Let's take this rocker cover off. We'll have a look at that area in there, and then we'll be taking the head off, and then we'll be able to see the top of the piston and the little head. Just about to remove the rocker cover. I've just nearly undone all of the bolts that hold that on. Oh, that's adorable. They're tiny. Yeah, so basically you've got one inlet valve and one exhaust valve. So as I spin the flywheel, you'll see these guys moving up and down. So that is the inlet valve closed. It's compression stroke. It's a fire stroke. And then this is now opening the exhaust port. So this will make more sense once we look at the other side of the head, but I'll spin through that again. So that is now opening the inlet valve. So it's sucking air fuel mix in, letting that valve open, letting it into the combustion chamber, now closing. And then we'll have a compression stroke. That's that one there. Bang, and then this will now open and let the exhaust come down and out the exhaust outlet. I'm going to pull the head off and we'll have a look a little bit deeper inside. So I've taken the head bolts out. There was only 4. It's important when you're pulling stuff apart, put them in a plastic bag. It's labeled head, so when I go to put it back together, I'll know exactly where they're from. I've actually removed the carburetor intake. Here we go. Starting to come off. You do need to be careful with the mounting surfaces of a head and the block. There it is. All right. So now that head is off, let's have a little look at these valves. So we've got the intake valve here and the exhaust valve here. So if I press the valve springs on the other side, you should be able to see the intake valve opening. So that will let the air fuel mix into the cylinder chamber. And then I'll press the exhaust valve and that will let it out. So the top of the piston here, as you can see, obviously up and down, it'll draw in the air fuel mix as that goes down. It'll compress it. It'll ignite about there, which will send this down. It will do a full exhaust stroke. So the exhaust valve will open now, let all of the exhaust out. And then as it comes back down, it'll draw in new air fuel mix, compress that, ignite, explode, exhaust stroke. Yeah, so it's very clever. Just had all my gaskets turn up for this little motor, so it's ready to go back together. I cleaned out all the water galleries, so where all the water flows to cool the motor, and I did find a bit of a restriction, a bit of a blockage where the water exits the power head. So that would have definitely been slowing down the flow and causing the motor to run slightly hot. It wasn't running overly hot, but it was just, I knew it was a little bit too hot, so that will sort that out. So we'll get this back together and whack it in the test tank and go from there. So I've cleaned up all of the mounting surfaces of the head and the block, and I'll just put this new head gasket on. There we go. Just installed the 2 push rods. They actuate the valves at the right time. They slide down into that section there, and the little balls on the end, they will locate into where they're supposed to go. Put a little bit of gasket sealing compound on the exhaust outlet, which meets this bit. So we'll just put the head on now. Got the new gasket there. Nice. Just get these head bolts started. There's only 4 in this motor. I'll tighten them down slightly, but then I've got these 2 that bolt the exhaust section up to the head. So I kind of want to just nip that down and then do those 2 up first so that the head can pull down onto that little gasket there. I'll tighten these guys up to the correct torque specifications, which are on the side block here, which is 28 Newton meters. So we'll run through that in a sec. So here we have a torque wrench. I'm just going to do these 4 bolts up to the specs. We'll start at about half of the torque to start with. You don't go straight to the full torque, so might go to about 13 or something Newton meters. And a lot of motors actually number the head bolts the way that they want you to tighten them. So here we've got 1, here we've got 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If there's more, they normally want you to start in the center and work your way out in an enlarging circle. But if you start in the middle and the pressure sort of moves out from the center, it's more than likely to keep your head nice and square. So number 1, might just do them up a little bit. And then we'll go up to 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they're all at about 13 Newton meters now. I might jump it up a little bit more, then we'll go to the full 28 there. So 28. 2, 3, 4. Sort of spin this over and make sure the valves are all good. The exhaust, intake, compression, all looks good. All right, get this rocker cover on. So this rocker cover actually has a rubber seal in it, so there's no gasket with this. It looks in really good condition. I've cleaned it up, this face, cleaned up the mounting surface. I have left in all of the little tags which hold wires and tubes and stuff, just so I know where they were. And also I took pictures of everything before I pulled it apart, so this can go back on now. Again, they've numbered the way they want you to tighten these up. So as we were talking about before, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's kind of trying to tighten it down without warping it. So it's yeah, like I said, normally from the center and it works out. So if you have a head that you're not sure, that not numbered or whatever, and there's 6 bolts, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you work your way out from the center. Got a smaller torque wrench for these little M6s. All right, they're all good. Gasket's on. So we'll grab that power head, drop it on, bolt it on. All right, let's gently lower this in. Try and line it up exactly where it needs to go. There we go. Just gone and tightened up all of these bolts down here that hold the power head to the leg. And now I will just put this little pan on, connect all of the bits and pieces up here, and then should be able to start it up. Fuel line's all reconnected. Throttle cable's done. Choke cable and all the electrics back on. So all I've got to do now is install a pull starter, put the lower unit on, and then we'll give this a run. So just installing the lower unit there, making sure that the shift shaft goes through the little slot it's supposed to, and also just making sure that the water tube is going straight into the top of the impeller there. All right, prime this fuel back up. This thing is running perfectly now. Nice and quiet. So good. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one. All the best, champs. See ya.